Rare earths unlocked. The U.S. and China strike a deal that could reshape everything from smartphones to fighter jets. Plus, Trump says obliterated, but some senators aren't sold.
I just do not think the president was telling the truth when he said this program was obliterated.
A classified briefing sparks new doubts on just how much damage the Iran strike really caused. And 6 big rulings, one huge day. The Supreme Court wraps its term with decisions that could impact your vote, your kids, and your health care.
The stories that matter, clear and credible, from across the country to around the world. These are your unbiased updates from Straight Arrow News.
Hello, everyone. I'm Lauren Keenan, in for Craig Negrelli. We begin with breaking news this Friday morning. The U.S. and China have struck a new trade deal, paving the way for China to start exporting rare earth minerals to the U.S. These minerals power everything from smartphones to electric cars to military weapons, and China controls most of the global supply. Under the deal, China will review export requests while the U.S. agrees to drop certain trade restrictions. But China isn't saying which export curbs it will actually lift. The announcement follows President Trump's White House event Thursday, where he touted what he called a big, beautiful agreement with Beijing. The two sides had previously stalled over tech bans and student visa restrictions, but this deal could signal a reset. It's a sign that after months of tension, the world's 2 biggest economies may be edging back from a full-blown trade war. The White House is on defense as questions mount over whether U.S. strikes really crippled Iran's nuclear program, as President Trump claimed. Senators just got a classified briefing on the operation, and while Republicans say the damage was real and long-lasting, some Democrats aren't buying it. That follows a leaked intel report earlier this week that said the strikes may have only set Iran back a few months. The Trump administration says that's flat out wrong, with CIA Director John Ratcliffe now insisting the damage was severe and key nuclear sites were destroyed. Still, some Democrats left the briefing unconvinced, calling the president's claim of total obliteration misleading and saying they hear no clear endgame.
Listen, to me, it still appears that we have only set back the Iranian nuclear program by a handful of months. There's no doubt there was damage done to the program. But the allegations that we have obliterated their program just don't seem to stand up to reason. I just do not think the president was telling the truth when he said this program was obliterated.
President Trump said that the nuclear stockpile was completely and totally obliterated. I did not receive an adequate answer to that question. What was clear is that there was no coherent strategy, no end game, no plan, no detailed plan on how Iran does not attain a nuclear weapon.
Now President Trump is firing back, blaming Democrats for the leak and saying on Truth Social they should be prosecuted. The FBI is investigating how that classified report got out, and the White House may now limit intelligence sharing with Congress. And in a fiery press conference, Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth doubled down, chastising the media for, in his words, cheering against Trump and undermining the military success.
See, we're here this morning because in hunting for scandals all the time, in trying to find wedges and spin stories, this press corps and the press corps miss historic moments. Because you, and I mean specifically you, the press, specifically you, the press corps, because you cheer against Trump so hard, it's like in your DNA and in your blood to cheer against Trump, because you want him not to be successful so bad, you have to cheer against the efficacy of these strikes. There are so many aspects of what our brave men and women did that because of the hatred of this press corps are undermined because people are trying to leak and spin that it wasn't successful. It's irresponsible.
The Pentagon also revealed new details about the strikes, including the fact that they were 15 years in the making, that bombs were dropped into ventilation shafts, and a small team of U.S. troops was left behind in Qatar to brace for possible retaliation. It's crunch time on Capitol Hill, and President Trump's One Big Beautiful Bill just hit a major speed bump. At a White House rally Thursday, Trump pitched the sweeping legislation as a way to secure the border and bring back the American dream. But back at the Capitol, a powerful Senate referee said no to several key parts of the bill. The Senate parliamentarian, who interprets the chamber's rules, ruled that big-ticket items like Medicaid cuts and student loan changes can't stay in under the fast-track process Republicans are using. Well, that's a blow to GOP leaders racing to get this done by Trump's July 4th deadline. Some Republicans are furious, calling the ruling undemocratic, while others are now demanding changes to protect rural hospitals in their states. Still, Senate leaders insist the bill's not dead, at least not yet. Today marks the final day of the Supreme Court's term, and we're expecting rulings in 6 big cases that could reshape everything from voting rights to online privacy. At the top of the list, can states consider race when drawing congressional maps? That's the Louisiana case that could impact black voter representation and the future of the Voting Rights Act. Also on the docket, the power of federal judges. The court will decide if lower courts can keep blocking major federal policies nationwide, like Trump's executive order to end birthright citizenship. Some other cases we're watching for today: can states make you prove your age to access online porn? And can parents opt their kids out of school books with LGBTQ themes? And can religious employers deny preventative health care under Obama? We'll be sure to bring you updates on all 6 decisions throughout the day right here on Straight Arrow News. A controversial new recommendation from the CDC's Vaccine Panel, meeting in Atlanta Thursday, and now stacked with picks from Health Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. The group voted to recommend against flu shots that contain thimerosal, a mercury-based preservative, despite decades of evidence showing it's safe. Kennedy has long pushed debunked claims linking thimerosal to autism. Most flu vaccines in the U.S. already have little to none of it. One of his allies, an anti-vaccine activist, was allowed to present, drawing backlash from doctors who said the panel ignored science. Critics warn the move could spark more vaccine fear and limit access, especially in lower-income areas. The CDC director or Kennedy must still sign off for it to become policy. And finally this morning, a new world far beyond our own. NASA's James Webb Telescope just spotted a massive exoplanet, TWA-7b, circling a young star nearby. It's about the size of Saturn, but 50 times farther from the sun than Earth. The discovery took cutting-edge technology and a lot of patience, but NASA got the shot. And a little reminder here on this Friday, the universe is big, wild, and still full of surprises. Those are your unbiased updates for this Friday. Thanks for having me this week. You got Craig, he's back next week. For all of us here at Straight Arrow News, I'm Lauren Keenan. Have a great weekend.